Hey, Heidi out there, everybody. Welcome aboard. Happy hump day to you. Well, it's kind of halfway over the hump, really, aren't we? I think we are anyway. We should be. Most of us are. Let me see who's in the room. We're going to have the Big O today. We've got the Big O coming in, and he's going to be sharing all sorts of things with us, not least of which are his key levels, I believe, on things like Bitcoin. Yeah, some cryptos. I think Shukri's probably got a few questions he wants to ask around there. I'm not 100% sure on where you guys are up to because we get into different shows and unfortunately, because we're not quite up to speed sometimes with who's asked what and said what and showed what, then we get a little bit confused as to where we're up to. We'll sort all that out, I'm sure, as the day goes on. All righty, what's coming up? Well, let's start with what we're in, I guess. And we got into this nice little trade yesterday on EuroCAD, which turns out, as it unfolds, to be just pretty much a range trade. Well, thus far anyway. Let's see what happens with the weekly and daily pivot here as to where we are next headed. I was asked a question in the early show in the UK session whether or not this was a good idea to trade EuroCAD long. We had a little bit of a discussion on whether we should be short biased, long biased, any bias, and where this is headed next. I think it's a great question. I think we're going to have a little yak about it. I'm going to ask Orlando his impressions of that as well, just to get another head on the job. I thought I've got absolutely no intention of changing my mind, but this to me is the most dominant chart pattern ahead of us, well, behind us really, and that is the double top. And I've been talking about Batman's mask for the last few weeks, and regardless of Batman or anybody else or any facial feature or any mask or whatever the case may be, the dominant force here for mine is the double top, and nothing will change my mind from that until we break out of there and take out those highs. And that's a weekly chart I'm looking at. But if you go wider, there's even more evidence to suggest for mine that 1.59437 or whatever I've got there as the level. It might be even a little bit higher than that. It might be even a little bit lower than that. It's pretty much a cloud of a price here, but I absolutely guarantee you that if I were to ask the big, he's in the room, I'll ask him in a tick. Where there's a key level on this chart, I've got a funny feeling he's going to tell me that it ain't too far from where I've got those highs. Let's ask him. In fact, he is in the room and he has joined me. Big O, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, mate. How are you?
Mate, chewing candy floss at the moment. Having a wonderful time. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, mate. Just
You're
starting
awake?
up my day a couple of hours ago.
You what?
Looking forward.
Cool. Well, I just said we had a discussion in the UK session about this particular chart and whether we should be looking for longs or shorts. Now, I'm going to point something out to you, which. Well, no, actually, I'll ask you a question without notice. What do you see when you look at that chart? Let me get rid of all my.
I see I see that you're short, right? But I see a
Don't forget what I am. Just
total
tell me
rejection of that 59.15 level. I mean, those two, the first week on February 2020 is just tremendous, right? But then we have another rejection of that key level. I would be looking to short this market, and only short this market, definitely.
Okay, interesting. What about if I said to you that hang on, how can I show it best to you? I think maybe the daily chart. I see I see this far clearer on the daily chart than I do anything anywhere else. Now, one of the traders in the early show suggested to me that they saw a cup and handle here, or a cup and handle forming. So I'm not a protagonist with anything that anybody sees at all, because I think everything's valid at any time. If you've got a firm belief that that's going to be the case and that's panning out, then I'm okay with that. So I see where he's coming from. I see the cup, and I see a potential handle being formed here. Now, I've got no idea because I've never ever traded or never ever really taken any notice of a cup and a handle. But if I'm thinking cup and handle off the top of my head, I'm thinking it's got to be down here. I thought it was a bottoming signal rather
Yes,
than
exactly. I mean, I thought it was exactly a bottoming pattern. It's just the same, mate. When people trade head and shoulders, when the market is really not ranging. To me, that's not a head and shoulders, because head and shoulders are reversal patterns. Such the for example, the cup and handle, which I've never traded myself like you, is also a reversal pattern that we should be finding at the bottom of a trend, right? So I don't think I mean I don't know if technically speaking, a cup and handle at the top of a move is something that should be called a cup and handle, even though it has the looks of a cup and handle. I don't know, mate. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that to me it is a bottoming pattern. But in any case, I mean, I agree with you. I can see it. I can see the chart pattern that was pointed out by one of the traders, right?
Mm. It's interesting, and I'm going to keep looking at this, because if this actually bursts out the top side, I'm going to go, oh, that's interesting. At this point, yeah, and I'm such a bear that I'm rarely as confident as I am with this going short, so and going short big time. But we will see. Happy days.
Exactly. I mean, at least you have some defined levels that you're looking for invalidation, right? Which is what we should be doing.
Well, that's the only thing I see here, and I may be blinded by the light. Frankly, that's the name of a song. If you hadn't recognised it, the only thing I see is this, and that is a dominant chart pattern. There's absolutely no question in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing that popped in front of my eyes too. I mean, that's the first thing I saw, and yeah, I mean, and to me that looks like, I mean, that is exactly a double top, right? Um, exactly a double top, and I mean, if we look at this chart pattern as a double top, which is a double top, let's not argue with that. It is a double top because there's, I mean, there's some big rejection at that key level, the 59.15 and above. The past, this is the weekly, right? See, the past couple of the past 3 weeks, even though we've had two good bullish weeks previously, we haven't gone above that, above the 56 65 to 57 level. Really, we haven't closed above that. So this could just be a pullback right there into that previous weekly low right here. The 1 2 3 4, I mean, the candle that or the first black candle after the reversal, right, has a long wick to the downside. So right now we are retesting that weekly low, and yeah, I mean, to me, this could just, I mean, this could just be a pullback, and actually an opportunity to get short the euro CAD, in my opinion, right?
Yep. Okay. Well, yours very similar to me, and I can't get around that until it's broken. And
Yeah,
I think the wonderful thing is there is absolutely nothing stopping the market going to here again before it goes short, and that's the weird and wonderful thing about trading, because this can still be dominant for the next 27 years. And we could range in here for 27 years or come up to here for 27 years or whatever the case may be.
yeah,
And this still overrides everything else until it's taken out, right? So the point that I made in the earlier show was it doesn't matter what I think, it doesn't matter what you think, and it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. The market can do the market will do what the market wants to do, but there's
exactly.
absolutely no reason why it can't go long here. The dominant pattern is short, no question, but we're on a weekly chart, don't forget, so we can muck around in here for ages and forever. And we still have that double top in place in 2097. It can still
Yeah,
be there.
exactly. We can keep just bumping into that top again and again and again.
Yep, absolutely. So it's all a matter of timing. If you get this right, you get, and in my opinion, we're going to finish up down here at some stage. If that's tomorrow, then happy days. If it's 2097, then my grandchildren will have to deal with it. But I won't be here. Simple as that. But the point I'm making is we can both be right. The person who pointed out that there's a cup and handle here can still win up to here, in my opinion, still make money up to here. And then this still takes over and we can make money short. So that's the nature of the beast. The market's a weird and wonderful thing. We can make money going all sorts of different ways. And time frames are very, very important, and timing is very, very important. And forget, like I said earlier in the show, if you've got a firm fixed opinion that is backed up by whatever it's backed up by, if it's backed up by a technical pattern, if it's backed up by a fundamental announcement, it's backed up by anything you care to name. If you layer it upon layer, and you've got that opinion that this is going to here, then don't listen to what anybody else says. Just trade it to there. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, we can have a definitely opposite opinions. I mean, no one is going to always be on your side of the market. It doesn't work like that, right? But that's
Nobody's on my
right.
side of the market.
And my validation level could be your invalidation level.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So anyway, I've probably labored that point just a little bit too much, but I think it's important to know that no matter who is saying what at what time, if you've got an opinion in the opposite direction, back yourself. Back yourself. That's my
Yep.
point. Okay, so we have got, apart from EuroCAD, a whole lot of stuff going on. The pound trade from earlier
Hey,
finished.
I have a question for you, mate. I
Yeah.
didn't join yesterday's show, but how was it with Shukri and your Bitcoin trading, mining, or whatever you were doing with Bitcoin?
Mate, we opened a wallet, right? Well, my wallet, my only wallet, my one and only wallet, my first wallet, and I'm now I'm not a farmer yet, and this is the weird, wonderful thing that I never even knew existed. That you could actually, I knew there were crypto traders, I knew there were crypto miners, and now there's such a thing known as a crypto farmer, of which I'm
Yeah,
one.
I haven't heard. I mean, I heard of crypto farmers until you told me and Chloe that you were going to become one, mate. That was the first one for me.
Well, you don't have to do too much. You just have to join a pool, basically. And look, Shukri's the man here, right? He
Yeah,
knows
it is.
inside out. So he's put me in this wallet thing, for want of a better word, where I'm going to initially put my funds, and from
Uh-huh.
there we'll distribute my funds into different pools and different farms where they're going to pay me money just to be there. Now I know
Really?
this sounds like dreams, right? Sounds like
Yeah, I
dreams.
mean I mean, I've never heard of that. I'm going to start watching some YouTube videos about that because it sounds easy enough, mate.
Well, that's the whole point, because I have no intention of trading cryptocurrencies,
Uh-huh.
but I am very happy to farm cryptocurrencies because I
Yeah.
don't have to do too much. I just have to sit there and be paid for being there. That works for me. And it was far more in depth than that. And each and every Tuesday, we're going to massage my wallet, if you like, and
Uh-huh.
uh, and put it in different places and distribute my funds all over the place. My God, fancy that! We're doing that without me knowing anything about what we're doing, but that's cool. I'll learn, and that's the whole point. And the people who come in the room will see what we're doing as well. And of course, Shukri's now got his own shows with us in the organisation, and he's
Yeah.
doing his free course on Saturday. Not sure of the timing on that. I'm sure he'll tell me when he's in the room. So anybody can attend that and learn how well the difference between actually trading cryptocurrencies and being a virtual spectator and taking advantage of interest. They pay you interest, man. I don't believe it. 8 to 12% just for being there. It's
Really?
kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to be joining those sessions with Shukri because I mean, I sort of got it. I've never heard of Bitcoin farming in my life, and well, sounds interesting. You know, it's always good to know these little things. You know, I'm all
Well,
for.
we've got to be open to change, and
Yeah, definitely, mate. I mean, I
if
agree with
we're
you on that one.
if we're honest with ourselves, we're in absolutely a time of change. There's no
Yeah,
question about that. And whilst ever we continue to have things known as currencies to trade, then you and I are going to be happy. But
yeah.
we've also got to realise that that may well not be the case in 10 years. We may be trading things like cryptocurrencies. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we need. I no, I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. We need to be able to adapt to change because we don't know how long these products are going to last. I agree with you, mate. Uh,
Okay, I think we'd be remiss not to cover it and have an expert in the room. And then thank goodness Shukri came along at the right time.
uh-huh.
Righto, I'm just going to have a very brief look around the place. The pound breakout trade today was a break-even affair, and no surprise there. If you look at the price action, we went down, we went up. We've now gone into the same consolidation pattern that we were pretty much since the US session closed yesterday. So we haven't moved one little iota on pound US dollar. The dollar itself is trying its little puffer valve out to get to the 95 handle, but every time it gets, well, it's tried 92, it's tried 93, it succeeded in both of those. And I'll share the dollar index chart with you, I suppose, probably a good idea, rather than me just talk about it. That should be it on that screen. So it's trying, it's like the little engine going up the hill. I think I can. But it's clearly broken trend. There's no question there. And here's the mountain that confronts it, if you like. It seems to have broken that as well. And I'd be very surprised if this doesn't go on with the job today. But that said, where something's broken, it needs to be retested as well. And if that's the top of this range, and let's call it that level there, 93.68, say, I don't know that we're not going to have a visit there before we go maybe up to 95 or I don't know. I haven't really got a firm level, but around about the 95 mark, I thought was where this might look to turn around. What are your thoughts, buddy?
Well, mate, do you remember that? I mean, it's been months and months since you and I have been talking about that rally in the
Mm-hmm.
US dollar, and we finally got it. I mean, and right now that we are trading above that 94 level, I mean, I I'm only seeing upside on the USD towards that 95 to let me be exact on that.
Yeah, have you got a level?
Yeah, I mean 95 to the 95, 90 to 96 level should be the next if we continue rallying. But and right now, I mean we are just making higher highs and higher lows, and finally having broken with that 94 level and holding that 94 level, I see some US dollar strength here from the lows.
Yeah, it's
Super
hard not
strong.
to see that, isn't it?
Huh?
It's hard not to see that,
Oh
but
yeah, it's hard not to see that.
I'm
Definitely hard
still a
not to see
skeptic. I'm still a skeptic
that.
because I
Really?
don't
Why?
trust it. Well, I guess you've got to go. Well, I've got to go back. No, I keep saying you've got to go back. You don't have to do anything,
Uh-huh.
you guys. But I got to go back to here, and every single time we look like it's very difficult. And I don't know how to use this chart. This bloody what's it called? Trading view.
Trading.
I don't know how to use it. But every time we've come down, I keep saying, okay, we're going to hit a level, we're going to hit a horizontal level, we're going to come back to this trend line. And it just wouldn't do it for the longest time. And I'm on a monthly chart, right? And I've been saying this since here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 months before it
Uh-huh.
actually did look to come back. And I still don't know that it can go through this line. I really don't. And
Really?
the level that I'm very dubious about is around about the 95 mark.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't trust it, mate.
But I mean, you have that trend line right there, right? I have the same one. Uh, if we break with that trend line, should be a slam dunk continuation. And what is that L-shaped thing that you have on your chart? Is that a pivot? Yeah.
Ash asked me exactly the same question yesterday, and I said, I'm buggered if I know. It's because I don't know how to use this chart. It's just there. It's probably something that I was trying to demonstrate at some stage. You see, I don't know how to get
Delete it.
to the right spot there. If I go like that and take away all the chat boxes that I've got open here, where is that little L thing? There it is there. And I pull that back to here,
Uh-huh. Well,
I
that's
can
a
probably
trend. I
probably
just
find a level. Yeah.
uh-huh.
So it's been resistance here. It's been support here. If I go back a bit further, I don't know. I found that level anyway, and I thought it coincided with at one stage there was a trend line coming up through here as well. Can't remember where that was either because I can't use this chart, and I apologise for that. If I was on MT4, I could point it out quite readily, but that level remains in my head around about 90. Well, it was around about 95 as I recall it. But
Yeah,
that's
I
what
agree
that
with
little
you on
that's what that little L thing was, mate.
that.
it,
Okay.
it wasn't anything more than that, I can assure you. I've got
Yeah,
to
but
have a
I
look.
agree with you on that level, the 95. It's if you, I mean, if you just look at that, you're on the monthly chart, right? I'm
Yep.
right here looking at the what is it that that's the 4 hour chart, but that just that
How do
week in
I? So I don't even know how to find that.
uh-huh, but that week into the mhm. Yeah, I mean that week that you had there
Holy
on
snap and
that
duck shit.
level
Hang on.
is
What have I done here?
exactly the next or my next key level that I'm looking at, which is around the 94 what? 94.80. And the
No, I was around there
94.80
somewhere.
has been historically super strong
Ah,
in the US dollar index.
okay, that's nice. I like that. Now, before we go into the US show proper, we've got about 5 minutes.
Yep.
Have you got anything to preempt that we will be trading in that show at all?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean,
If you give us a
we
quick,
will be looking at the Nasdaq, mate, which I'm in a long position on the Nasdaq, and
yep,
we will be perhaps taking a. I'm looking at an opportunity to go long actually with a great risk to reward, and we're going to look at gold, and the other thing that I'm looking at really, really closely is the pound versus the yen right now. So all of this going to be on today's show on my side, mate.
pound yen. What are we doing with pound yen?
I'm buying the pound yen.
Okay,
Sounds crazy, right? But the thing is that with a strong dollar, the yen is going to weaken. So I've been looking for opportunities to buy pound. I'm sorry to buy yen pairs to short the Japanese yen. I'm not so sure that the pound yen is the best instrument to go through with that, but it's the one that's giving me the best risk to reward scenario. Uh, for a yen short in any case. I
okay,
really didn't like the price action on the US dollar Japanese yen and on the euro yen either.
interesting. Because I'm a massive yen bull, we might have
Yes,
an interesting conversation during the US session. That could be good.
exactly. That's going to be a fun one, mate.
I like that. I like it when somebody's going to stand up and fight with me, and we go, no, this can't be that. This is this, and that's all good fun. Excellent. Looking forward to that.
All
So
right.
you're a yen bear. You're not necessarily a pound bull.
No, not necessarily a pound bull, and actually not a pound bull. But the thing is that yeah, I mean the pound has been devaluating, but mostly because of well two things, right? U.S. dollar strength and also just
Brexit.
some bad comments out of the Bank of England. You know, they mentioned negative rates, and not only
Yep.
mentioned negative rates, but they mentioned that they were in talks with regulators on how to implement them. So that is going to weigh heavily on the pound. But I think it was already priced in because we're going to see on the show later on that it was only a fake out. Yeah, I really
I
think
love
that
fake it.
yeah.
That's my
Only
favorite.
but also with all the Brexit talks and probably they're going to leave the EU without a deal. I mean that's also going to have that also weighs heavy on the pound, but I'm not so sure if that also has not been priced in that big move to the
You know, you
downside.
know, the most miraculous thing that I believe at the moment is that the
Uh-huh.
pound isn't at zero, given all the things that you've just mentioned, and you haven't even thrown in the fact that they're going into an incredibly bad potential second lockdown situation for the whole country.
Yeah, that too, mate. That too. Completely forgot about that one. But that
Yes,
too, there.
there's not a whole lot bright in the wonderful world of the pound at the moment. It's
It
true to
is
say.
not, mate. It is not. It is not. But again, I mean, I'm going to share with everybody on the show my levels, my rationale. Maybe we get a nice impulse, and maybe I'm just trading a corrective move. No one knows, mate. But let's have a look at that, right?
Absolutely, and we're also going to put a little bit more pressure on you from the Shukri side of things
Awesome,
because
Shukri. How
we
are you,
want
mate?
he wants to investigate a few more of your key levels. So we'll also get into that if you can find some crypto charts that he wants to have a look at as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure, for
I
sure, for
don't
sure.
I don't think an hour is going to be long enough to cover it all, but we'll
Yeah,
do our darn best. All right, for those of you who have joined us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Papa Diddly World, or whatever they call them, I don't know. Thank you very much for your company, but it's time that we must go into our subscription show, which of course is the US session. We'll be looking forward to your company tomorrow when we'll do it all again. And of course, there is so much for free on YouTube at the moment from our organization, including Hot Tea and Sauce, which is it tomorrow, or are you doing only Tuesday, Wednesdays?
Tuesday, Wednesday, mate.
Okay, so you're in recess for the next few days.
Yes, and I'm back on Tuesday with Chloe, and next Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, happy days. And of course, speaking of Shukri, he will be doing that course on Saturday. Guys, if you don't know how to get into that, you need to go to any one of our social media sites, Actions to Wealth, or email Actions to Wealth, or contact at actionstowealth.com. You'll find out how to get into that as well. And there's a whole bunch of stuff happening over the weekend. My goodness, I don't know how we fit it all in, to be fair. Righto, guys, those of you who are not subscribers, it is time to bid you adieu, and thank you very much for your company. Those of you who are subscribers, we'll be back in just